woman. There's like water around the cup. I don't know, you guys know I struggle just to like do anything I do in front of people. I've never had social anxiety, but maybe I have. Like, I feel like, can you be a social person and also have social anxiety? I don't know. But I think it's also just filming. Like, I just hate filming myself in front of people. I feel like otherwise I don't mind the social aspect, right? I'm so happy this is working today. Last week was a shit show. Oh my gosh, it was so annoying. I could not get it to work. Like, it just was not showing up normal. I mean, I got some people messaged me and said, okay, it worked fine for me, and some people messaged and said it didn't. So I'm like, well, that's confusing. I know I have chapstick in here somewhere. I have this one, but I don't really like this one, but we'll use it. It definitely feels like a Monday, I'm not gonna lie. I woke up at 6 this morning and laid in bed until 7:15. The kids were still on time. I was nervous. I was like, I'm really pushing my luck here. And I hate being late, but we were still on time. Go us. I also brought my makeup today, and it's funny because Aura saw it in the car and was like, Mom, why did you bring your makeup? And I was like, well, I have to do my makeup for work. And she was like, but you work from home. Why do you need to do makeup? And I was like, see, that's the logic that gets me into trouble, Avery. Then I don't do my makeup. And then I film myself, and I'm like, oh, so interesting. Why didn't I put on a little makeup? It makes me just feel more awake, you know? It makes me feel more ready for the day. Yeah, today, it's kind of sucks that Preston's birthday falls on a Monday just because, like, it's so hard to do anything. He does, like, he's in the tax world for work. So right now is busy season, so he can't just, like, not spend more than 12 hours working. So he goes in every day at, like, 4. And then he usually gets home and then helps with the kids and all that. And then he goes back to work when we put the kids to bed for a couple hours. It drives me nuts. It's only during busy season. It's not full year round, but I just feel bad for him. It sucks. So anyways, his birthday falls in busy season, so it kind of sucks because today we can't really do much. So we'll probably, I don't know, do some sort of surprise, and then this weekend or something, I don't know, we'll celebrate. Neither of us are big birthday people, but I also try, and he does the same for me, to, like, not let us not celebrate it, you know? But it's just so hard. Like, when you're older and you have so much shit going on and, like, so many kids, like, you know? I feel like this side is driving me nuts. These ones are extra shiny. But yeah, I feel kind of bad because, I don't know, I just want to do more. I got a hot drink today. I never get hot drinks, but I got this the other day. I love the white mocha. I think it's so good, but I do never really get it just because I prefer cold drinks. I make my hot drinks at home, but it's so good that I had to have it. I had to have it. I just remembered I didn't wet my beauty blender. I don't even know how to put makeup on without a beauty blender. I think that person moved. I think they liked me even less than I liked them. Surprising. I posted a couple throwback pictures on my stories. A couple, let's be for real, like 1,000. Because as I started going through them, I'm like, oh my god, this one's cute. Oh my god, this one's cute. Oh my god, this one's cute. I saved some for a post, but yeah, there's so many good ones. And I feel like I've never shared because I try to keep my relationship more private. I feel like in the last couple years, I've definitely, obviously I still do social media. Like, so much of my life is still public, and I like that. I like sharing that with you guys. Like, that's how I make connection with you guys and make friends with you guys. And like, I'm just that type of person. I'm an open person. But, you know, I never kept anything to myself. And it caused me a lot of stress, to be honest. Like, there's so many times I look back, and probably you guys can't tell, but the amount of times that I had people on camera and they didn't really love it, and you know, they tried to be supportive, like, especially family members trying to be supportive because that's what I was doing, and, like, you know, whatever. But it just, like, I could tell. I've never had a family member tell me, like, I don't want to be on camera. There's definitely been actually a couple that don't want to be on camera, but anyways, my point is I started to be more private a couple years ago, and obviously took the kids offline and all that, and I really do prefer to have just something for myself. And I especially, like, now that I've kept my relationship mostly private, it doesn't feel like my relationship is like a show, you know? It feels like my relationship is my relationship. And I don't know. It's hard because there is so many times, like, I want to share it with you guys. And the big moments, obviously, I love sharing. But even the little ones, like, sometimes I want to share more. But in the long run, I'm always glad that I keep, like, a little piece of my life just for, you know, me and the kids and for Preston. So, I don't know. Does that make sense? But anyway, sharing those pictures, I feel like I got to share some of those moments with you guys. And a lot of people say, like, not to bring up drama because it's just stupid drama, but a lot of people, you know, they make it like, well, you don't want to show him, or, you know, people really want to believe certain things, and I totally get it. I was once 15 and did the same thing. Sadly, a lot of these people aren't 15, but, you know, people have a hard time believing that somebody would just, like, want to keep it more private, and that, yeah, I don't know. So I get a lot of questions like why I don't share him as much. That's one of the biggest reasons. But then also on top of that, I just thoroughly enjoy making content, like, that just revolves around myself, which sounds so bad. Like, honestly, it feels a little narcissistic, or like selfish, but this is a very, like, different type of job. So to, like, to make other people be a part of it, you know, it should just be about me. Especially Preston is not a social media person. Like, he doesn't have really any social media platforms. And the one or two that he does have, he, like, barely goes on it. And it's mostly for family purposes. So he's just not in that life, which is also really nice. Like, to not have somebody who is, like, super wrapped up in it. And there's nothing wrong with that because I'm wrapped up in it. I mean, I do it for a living, but it's just nice to have our two different worlds, and then we join them together, and it, like, fits, you know? My stomach is growling. It's so hard to explain things because I never want people to think I'm, like, trying to compare, or, like, you know, again, people turn it into things. I never want it to be that way. I just am saying, like, as, you know, I don't know. People start nothing into something. The egg bites. You can never go wrong with the damn egg bites. You guys see me eat egg bites every single Monday. Okay? So good. So good. So good. I got the bacon and cheese. I feel like I switched up. The roasted red pepper are lower calorie, but not today, Becky. They're still good, but these are just way better. I need to run to Lululemon, but I don't know if it's open. I haven't been in there forever. I'm also fully wearing pajamas right now. The only reason I hate eating these when I do these lives is I feel like you can hear the mush. I'm sitting in front of the drive-thru, like where the drive-thru entrance is. People fly through here. Like, full speed ahead. They have to slam on their brakes when they get up there. Is it warming up? Yes. Kind of. It warmed up like 2 weeks ago for 2 days, and then it was freezing. Huge snowstorm. We had terrible winds this weekend. Our trampoline, if you guys saw Preston's story, we have sandbags on our trampoline, as do most people who have trampolines that aren't in ground. And the trampoline's been there for a really long time. It actually wasn't ours, it was the last owners, but they just left it. The sandbags are heavy. Obviously, we get a lot of wind where we live. That's like a common Utah thing. It blew the trampoline off of the legs. So the legs stayed, but like the trampoline part blew. It was so bad. They were like 70 mile per hour winds. It was pretty crazy. The kids, I felt bad for. They had a rough time sleeping at night. just like the wind blew through our air vents and it was just loud. So, but anyways, that's over. It's getting warmer. I just don't want to get excited, you know? Because then it gets cold. If I want it, it's not happening. Why is this so hard to cut? I watched this video on TikTok. This guy was cutting steak and he was using a plastic knife. And it was so hard to watch. I was like, what the hell are you doing? But the video was interesting because he was like pretending, he was pranking his mom that he like didn't like her food. It was funny. I've been consuming too much TikTok lately. Did you get a new car? I've had this car for, I don't even know, 6 months? Maybe not 6 months. Maybe a little less than that. I loved the Lincoln. That was like one of my favorite cars ever, but it's just too small, especially since we obviously plan to have 2 more kids. This car's just so much better. I never wanted this car. I mean, it's a super nice car, but I just don't like how big it is. Like, I'm a pretty small person, so driving this huge ass, basically, truck always just wasn't my favorite. Like, parking it and all that. But with so many kids, you just have to. I'm wearing my wedding band. Ever since we got married, I haven't worn the engagement ring as much. Because this ring is just so comfortable, whereas the other one, it has that pearl on it. So I love it. Favorite ring ever. You guys know that was the ring that I literally told him I wanted, like sent pictures of before we ever got engaged. But it's just not as comfortable. So I only really wear it for like special occasions. Or I only plan on wearing it, I guess, for like, you know, date nights or whatever. I've never really been like a jewelry person. You guys see, I hardly ever wear jewelry. If I do, I like put on a necklace and it stays on for a year. And then when I take it off, I go a year without wearing another necklace. So I really like this ring because it's just so subtle and like, I don't know, you can't really tell that I'm wearing it almost, but it's just like the perfect amount of detail. I'm not really into, jewelry that much. Egg bites. So good. This is a stupid question, but does everywhere have a Starbucks? I'm trying to think. When I went to London, I think they had Starbucks. I don't even remember. God, I have the worst memory, you guys. In like a year, I'm not going to remember anything. We're going to Scotland next month. Well, technically, it's like literally the last day of next month, and then we'll go into that next month, March, April, into May. Yeah. I prefer Dutch Bros over Starbucks now. There's a Dutch Bros near me. I just haven't ever gone there. I think I've had Dutch Bros before. Maybe. I don't know. I know here in New York we have 7-Eleven, but I don't think everywhere else does. I know at least in the States, pretty much everywhere has a 7-Eleven. But it's funny because, okay, Preston grew up in Arizona and I grew up in LA. And then now obviously we live in Utah. LA's 7-Elevens are not gas stations, at least where I grew up. Like very rarely, I don't even think I ever saw 7-Eleven as a gas station. It's like a small little pit stop where they have like snacks, Slurpees, that whole thing. Like, I don't think I ever saw that it was a gas station. In Arizona, they're just gas stations, I believe. And then in Utah, they're gas stations. So I told Preston the other day, like, you know, in California, these are just like stores. They're not gas stations. And he was like, what the hell? So, although in Arizona, they have, what is that called? QTs, I think they're called. They don't have those in Utah, and those are so awesome. Like, I've been to one now that I've been to Arizona a few times, and they're like the best damn gas station ever. I do love Maverick, but Maverick is not as good. And I think Maverick's just in Utah. What are some of the sites that you want to see when you're in Scotland? Any specifics or just take it day by day? One of you guys actually sent me a list, and I'm going to like note some of that. My dad chose Scotland last year. Like, we chose London. So I think he has some places in mind. I still need to like really dig into what there is. I know there's like a lot of castles and stuff. We definitely want to do one or some of those. We did that in London. And it was fun, but I wouldn't want to like spend our entire trip going and seeing castles. Like, personally, we're just not super into that. So definitely like one or two, because that is a big part of like where we're going. But yeah, the food, we're like big food people. London's food, I'm not gonna lie, we didn't really love. Their breakfast is great, on point, but the rest, we tried like a lot of different restaurants, a lot of different kinds, and we just didn't love it. But everybody's food is so, like, it's so hard to say, like, oh, I don't like that food, because, like, I'm sure people come to America and are like, what the hell? Puerto Rico? Is that where I went? I don't even remember. I think so. 19s? Gosh, what is wrong with me right now? But I don't love, like, bananas or anything like that, so that's, like, already not fair for me to judge. We're definitely going golfing in Scotland. Scotland has, that's, like, the main thing we want to go for. The golfing in Scotland is, like, it's so funny because I don't ever show golfing, but that's, like, a big thing that, like, in the past couple years I've really loved and really started doing a lot of. It's hard where I live because it's cold as hell, but, so in the winter time we can't, but, yeah, I need to show more of that. Texas has both gas stations and one without gas for 7-Eleven. Yeah, I feel like it's so interesting that that varies. Like, why are they not just, I don't know, maybe there's like a licensing thing. I don't know. This is so hot. I want to drink it, but it's so hot. I always want to ask, because I know you can get it extra hot. Can I get it like extra not hot? Like, I don't like hot, but I don't want it iced either. Not this drink, at least. This drink is too sugary if you get it iced, in my opinion. In my professional white chocolate mocha opinion, I think it's too sugary. I wish the Starbucks had more of a view. I love people watching, but I'm just looking at the road with the cars. I really want to go to Vegas, but I only like going to Vegas in the summertime because you could sit by the pool and just watch people all day. Me and Preston just put our sunglasses on. That sounds so creepy. If you people watch, you get it. It's not in a creepy way. It's just like interesting. Last year we went, I think it was last year, and somebody like peed or pooped in the pool. It's funny because people are just wasted. One time I was hungover, and of course that day we rented out a cabana, and they're super expensive. So we were going no matter what. So we went, and I was so ill. And then I got heat stroke because I was just dying in the sun. And I get heat stroke really easily. So it was pretty bad. You know when you like force yourself to do something because you spent money on it, but then you're like, honestly, I should have just not done it because the torture I put myself through. But yeah, I do love going to Vegas. I love the shows. We don't gamble. We're not gamblers at all. We've like tried it once or twice and never like it. I think both of us are just the type of people, like, obviously he does accounting and taxes, like, he's in the money world, like, he doesn't like to just throw it away. I don't mind throwing it away, but I do prefer to at least get something back, you know, like, buy something and actually have something tangible, whereas gambling, it's like, maybe I'll get something out of this, and I'm not really into that. So we usually gamble, like, with a couple $100 so that we can get our rewards, because if you spend a couple $100 on the machines, then you can get rewards in Vegas and get like free nights or free shows or like discounted stuff. So we'll do that, but we won't gamble beyond that. And then we go to the shows. The shows are so good. Fantasy is the best. I wish they had more of like a true burlesque show, but Fantasy is the best, like that kind of show. We've seen all of them at this point, and that's the only one that we really like. We saw one that was like close up. Meh. Anyways, I just went on a whole rant about Vegas, but I'm like, people watching, that would be so fun. I'd love to be in Vegas right now. I bet it's warmer there. Not warm enough to sit by the pool, though. Our honeymoon, it was still pretty, like, it was warm enough to be in the pool. We were in the pool. We went to Mexico. I cannot wait to post this content, you guys. I was seeing a lot of it today when I was going through pictures to post on my stories, but anyways, it was like just still a little too cold. I needed to be, if I'm gonna be in the pool, girl, I need it like 115 degrees outside. Okay, I can't. If it's like 80, that's not warm enough. I'm still in the jacuzzi. I'm so cold all the time. You know, is anybody else like that? I feel like I'm just cold-blooded. It's funny though, because Preston always says, like, when he's like laying next to me or something, he's like, you're so hot. Like, you put off so much body heat. And I'm like, well, I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm freezing. Although I'm not one of those people who has like cold feet. You know, people get like where their feet are so cold. I'm so mad my beauty blender isn't wet. What can I do about that? I don't know. I guess I could put my water that I hate that my car does that, but I guess it's fine. Yesterday we got the weirdest like notification on the car that said something was like not working, like the steering wheel wasn't communicating to the wheels or something like that, and I got so scared, but it was fine. I looked it up and it was like, don't worry, it's just like readjusting. And then the car was like, said it was lowering to stabilize. We were driving though, as we were driving, so then we pulled over and like restarted the car. That didn't help. Oh, my car just shut off. But then we went inside the grocery store and we were in there for like a good amount of time, and we came back out. It was fine. So I don't know what happened. Have you ever been to Mexico? If not, would you go? Yes, I have been there 4 times? 4 or 5 times. I do love it. Would I go anytime again soon? Probably not. I just feel like I've been there a lot recently. And I would just like to try other places. I really want to try... don't get me wrong, I've gotten more comfortable. I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to be scared of damn near everything. I still get very nervous about a lot of those things, but I'm not as terrified, I guess you can say. So I'm trying, like, you know, I've got more comfortable with going to Mexico. I still freak out and cry on airplanes. Last time I got on an airplane, I almost didn't. They were calling my name on the speaker and I was in the bathroom crying because I didn't want to go. I did get on the plane though, because the kids were waiting for me. I had no choice. I had to come home to my kids. But I wouldn't go to Mexico again because at least not anytime soon, because I've just already been so many times in a short amount of time. And I have gotten more comfortable with going out of the country. Obviously we went to London. This year we're going to Scotland. We have a couple other trips planned. But I feel like, okay, Kyra, you didn't have to go so extreme and start traveling out of the U.S. Why don't you try, like, the other side of the U.S.? I've been to Florida so many times. I don't have necessarily the desire to go back there. Like, I've been to all the areas, Tampa, Miami, Orlando. Like, I've done all of that. But, and same with New York. I feel like I've been in New York a handful of times. I would like to go to New York with Preston because he's never been. And I feel like everybody has to experience New York, even if it's a shithole. And then, but I want to go to like South Carolina. Like, you know, I just haven't been over there. So we'll add that to the list. Although right now we just have so many other things on our list. Charleston. See, Charleston sounds so fun. I used to follow this RV channel on YouTube. I don't even remember the channel name, but they went to, I think, Charleston and showed some of it, and I was like, oh my god, I want to go there. So I've always wanted to go there since. Canada, I would love to go to Canada. I don't like anything north of me below Canada. Like, I could give a shit less about Montana, Idaho. Who goes and visits Idaho? Like, I'm sorry, but no thank you. There's nothing. Montana I hate because I grew up there for the first half of my life. I think it's just trailer park. I hate it. I hate it. So much trauma. So much trauma. But you guys know I don't like that place. I want to take Preston because it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's beautiful. But I just had such a traumatizing good amount of years living in a horrible city with horrible people and a horrible lifestyle and just drugs and so that's why I don't have a desire to go back there. Washington I actually would go to. Seattle I've been to once and it was for like work kind of, so I didn't really explore. Did I just say I want to go to Vegas? I'm such an idiot. I'm literally going this weekend. But I'm going for the beauty pageant. I'm not going for like anything else. So I'm literally going to be there for like a day. But I totally forgot about that. That's exciting. Wow, look at me. See, I forget. This is why I have like notes everywhere. Because I forget. But yeah. Anyways. That was such a random. I'm going to Scotland next month. I'm very excited, but also I've been seeing all this like Boeing stuff, and so now I'm like, maybe I don't want to go. It's so quiet in here. It's weird. What are you doing? I have my Zillow notification. Sorry, it paused me. It's always cutting me off. What was I saying? Oh, the Zillow notifications. I'm always looking at houses and I shouldn't be. What are you doing for hubby's birthday? I kind of talked about this, but it's hard because today, it falls on a Monday, which sucks. Like, he's really busy right now with tax season and work, and I'm really busy with work and kids, and it's Monday. Like, that speaks for itself, you know? So that's kind of unfortunate. So we're going to do a couple things today. Nothing crazy. And then maybe this weekend before I go to Vegas, we'll celebrate. I'm always looking for houses. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. I stopped, though, looking at the, like, houses that are way too expensive because that just, like, tortured me, you know? I'm glad I'm not the only one who comes to Starbucks looking rough. Because there, where I live, the moms are ready. I mean, I'm envious. I'm rolling my eyes because, girl, I wish. Are ready by 7 in the morning. Full glam. Full hair and makeup. And most of them are just have nothing to do besides, I don't know. That's not true, actually. I feel like there's a lot of entrepreneurs where I live. Utah's like known for that. But I'm just saying, they're all ready to go by 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I look like this. I have my eye patches, you know? It's funny, I'm jealous of those type of people because I cannot be that type of person. Like, the way these ladies see me at the drive-thru here at Starbucks, it's rough. He's not going to Vegas with you. We're still, like, deciding. Probably not. I'm going for one day. And like I said, he works more than 12 hours a day during busy season, which is what he's in right now. So it's not really worth it for him to drive 6 hours with me to spend 6 hours there and then drive 6 hours back with me. Like, if I wanted him to, out of anxiety, he totally would. But I'm like, I think I got this. Like, you don't need to torture yourself, you know? If we were going to do things, then absolutely, yes. That would be, he would come. But I'm just going to I'm literally just judging the pageant and then going home. Did you end up celebrating New Year's Eve in February like you said? Yes and no. Not the way that I wanted to. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's since December, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm just playing catch up with life. And not like a bad way, but it's been so busy. Like, it was the holidays and then the wedding, and that is not advice I would give. Don't have the biggest holiday of the year and also plan a wedding at the same time. You know, like, have it be the last month up to your wedding. So that was just like naturally, because of those things, a really big month. And then January, we were just like, oh my hell, that was so much. Let's take a breath. And then we did for like a whole 5 minutes. I got really sick for like 3 weeks. Then we went to our honeymoon, and then I got back playing catch up with work, which I'm still catching up on. So it's just, I don't know, it's hard. And I'm also in February, when I did kind of like think about what goals I had and all that, one of my biggest goals is just this isn't a goal every year, to like spend more intentional time with the kids, like individually and together. But this year, like, that is the goal, but also to like stop working at a certain time and that's it, like no matter what. And that is really hard for me. I'm somebody who, I think a lot of people are like this, actually. I see a lot of stuff online about people who are like this. That guy's back. Oh my God. I feel very guilty when I'm not working. So it's really hard for me to turn it off, because then I feel like my self-worth is like less. Does that make sense? So yeah. Anyways. Starbucks near you. Yeah, the Starbucks near me is dangerous. I don't love that I have a Starbucks right next to me, but then it's also nice because I just sometimes need to be heavily caffeinated, and I can't be heavily caffeinated at home. I have to have like 5 cups of coffee versus just having one. Preston has espresso every day, and so we have a really nice espresso machine, but I just can't make the drinks the same, you know? I can't do it. I need to get my car washed. I actually just did, but because of the wind, it's got dust all over the outside. Also, our outside lights blew down. I was really bummed about that. What can you do? I just got a weird receipt. Levi's gonna try out for club soccer this year. Last year he did baseball, soccer, and football. He does it in the fall and the spring. He didn't love baseball. Too ADHD, for sure, which I don't blame him. So he didn't want to do that again this year. My thing is, you have to try like all of it, but if you don't like something, I don't care. That's totally fine with me. You just need to, like, usually we play it through the city, so it's like a couple weeks of a season, you know? It's like the perfect amount of time for them to decide if they like try it out, if they like it or don't, or whatever. Levi, yeah, he just didn't love baseball. He likes basketball. He also did basketball, I forgot. He likes basketball because a lot of his friends are on the basketball team. Basketball is a huge thing in Utah. I personally don't love watching it, but as a parent, I will watch my kids play any sport. I am just happy to be there and, you know, support them, be a part of it. So, anyways, baseball is a no. He didn't want to do that again. He does want to do football. He wants to do soccer, but he wants to do soccer more year round and more seriously. So he's going to try out for club soccer and do basketball and football through the city. And then Preston coaches. He's coached their football team for, 1-2 years. Well, it's hard because I guess in seasons. So he's done, I think, 3 or 4 seasons, but that's like 2 years. My trampoline, no. So when the trampoline broke off of the legs, it went through a tree. Thank God, because the tree actually stopped it from going into and crashing into our neighbor's house. And the neighbor has a very nice house, so I can't even imagine, like, do we pay for that? I'm assuming we pay for that, and that's a lot of money to pay for that. Like, we don't have trampoline insurance, okay? So thank God the tree caught it, but it like ripped through the trampoline. We had to just get rid of it. We were gonna, this summer though, Preston was gonna do an ground trampoline anyways, so it worked out. Alea tried soccer last year. She wasn't super stoked about trying it. It's a little bit more difficult with her with the sport. She doesn't totally know what she wants to do. Like, she gets these ideas, she tries it, she hates it. And I don't know if it's the social aspect that she hates. Like, unless she knows somebody, it's really hard for her. But anyways, the soccer she loved. She wants to do that again, so we're doing that again. Avery it still doesn't know if she likes soccer or not. Sometimes she has fun, sometimes she doesn't. So she's doing the spring season. But they're just doing soccer. And then the kids are also in art, but they won't be in art. Speaking of which, they have art today. They won't be in art while they're doing their spring and fall. It's just like basically the off season. I think I talked about this in my last live, but my kids are Energizer bunnies, and if they don't do things on the weekdays, they lose their minds, and it's just hard for everybody. So we don't have many activities in my area. That's one thing I really love about Utah. Like, I mean, I love a lot about Utah, but there is certain things that I don't. But you know, there's so many kids here that they have a lot of like kids activities. Levi also does go to church every other week and does like their church boys day that they do. And I think it's really nice that the church allows him to do that, because we don't belong to the church. We are not Mormon/LDS. So they just, all of his friends are in it. And so they invited him to come on those days. And I think that that was really nice. And he's been doing it for a while now and loves it. And if he were to become Mormon or whatever, then, you know, that's fine. Like, I've let all my kids just go on their own journey with that. And that may seem weird to say because they're so young, but where we live, it's a very, very big conversation and part of like daily life around here. I don't know when. I'm hoping to get the email today because they're supposed to start this month. So I don't know why it's taking so long. To get the email. I feel like they always do that though. It's always last minute. Kind of drives me nuts from like a planning point of view. The spring season's pretty short, so maybe it does not start until April. I need to double check. Yeah, we have spring and fall as well. I don't love spring sports. It's just still so cold outside, but the kids love it, so whatever, I have to suck it up. And I'm happy to, but it's cold, so we definitely bring all the blankets, umbrellas, and all the things. I like fall better, although the beginning fall season is freaking hotter than heck. But again, I'd prefer to be hot. What are you guys having for dinner? So I made the corned beef, cabbage, pot roast type of deal yesterday for St. Patrick's Day. I didn't know how to participate in that tradition, or like the tradition of St. Patrick's Day. So that is how we participated, is by eating that. But anyways, while we were getting stuff at the store, I came across this, which it was, I don't know if I would super into them. So I feel like lately I've tried a lot of new things and they just don't eat it, which I'm the type of parent where if you're hungry, you'll eat it. If you don't, you're going to be hungry. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not making 8 different meals at night. But, so I try to cook things that they're all going to like, because I don't want to be in that situation where they're not eating. So anyways, I've been trying a couple new things lately and they haven't really loved it. So I'm just kind of like, need a minute from trying things, you know? Oh no. Okay, why is it? I cleaned my stove last week and I was frying chicken because I was making the, if you guys have had the Arby's buffalo sliders, I learned how to make those at home. So I was making those like as dupes because the kids in Preston love those, but they each eat 6. So then we spend like $100 at Arby's. So it's a little ridiculous. So I learned how to make them at home. But anyways, I cleaned the stove. This girl's so cute. And then my ADHD is ADHDing. I dropped the chicken in the stove. Why is it that you spill shit in your stove when it's clean? Somebody do the math for me. because it's so frustrating. Arby's is expensive. I feel like all the fast food places are now. Like, listen, it's shitty food. That's good, but it's like it's not good food. And so when it's cheap, fine. It's shitty food, like you could justify it. But when it's expensive and it's still shitty, it's like, wait, the math isn't mathing. I don't want it then, you know? I just cleaned my stove too before I spilled it. Yeah, I swear, that's always how it happens. This girl just dumped out a bottle of water. Why? It's so hot in the car, but I don't want to turn it on to turn on the AC, but I'm dying. Just let in a little bit of air. People are going to even think I'm more crazy, but that's okay. Listen, I am. Ooh, that feels good on my eye patches because it's like blowing air on them and they're like wet. LOL. We rarely eat at Arby's just because we end up spending like $40 for 4 people. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I love the beef and cheddar, I think is what it's called. See, like, people come zooming through here. It's crazy. I probably do the same thing, to be honest. I'm just not watching myself do it. It's funny, I've watched the line be completely empty and then really full. Really full, like really long. I was gonna do my makeup with you guys, but I didn't get my beauty blender wet. I think I should have got my hair cut shorter. It's like, which sounds a little crazy because it's so short. Like, dang girl, how short do you want to be? But I don't know. I feel like it's too long and awkward. I don't know. And it grew so fast, which most of the time would be great, except I want my hair to be short right now. I started doing the rosemary hair treatment, so I'm like, maybe that's why. Maybe. I need to go to Lululemon. Did I bring my wallet? Yes, I did. Thank God. I guess I have, what is it called? Apple Pay? I just always get nervous. Like, if I forget my wallet and I rely on Apple Pay, that store that I'm going to, their system's going to be down or my phone isn't going to work or something, you know? I'm trying to decide. I could go golfing with him today. Or we could wait for the weekend. But here's the thing. I feel like today, if we go, it's not as fun because it's like a work day. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, like, if we went on a weekend, we can make, like, a day date out of it. I think I want to do that. It makes me feel bad because they're not doing as much for today. I don't know, guys. The weekend sounds better, right? Because then we can, like, go out to brunch or eat after and, like, yeah, make a whole thing of it rather than just like, okay, hurry, I'll meet you there after work, and then we have to get back quick because the kids, and then to do dinner and the bedtime routine. Plus, I don't think anybody in my email would appreciate if I went golfing today. But, you know, sometimes if you just turn off your notifications, feels so nice. That makes me want to golf today. Maybe we'll just go, like, hit some balls. I don't know. It's just so nice today. I look so funny with my door open, but it feels just great. Okay, guys. I think I'm going to get off because I need to go to... That girl looks so familiar. Lululemon. I hate when people... Oh my god, actually, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. Just got a notification that drives me nuts. What was I saying? Oh, I need to go to Lululemon. I also need to like wrap. I got him 2 gifts and I feel like I should wrap them. Okay. Too much to do. No time. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Go get yourself some Starbucks or make yourself a nice fancy drink. It's Monday and it's rough for everybody, okay? I love you. Thanks for watching.